incredible, honestly unforgettable. You were Joe like Chappelle Show. This so perennial, do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. I just had to let you know. It's the young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You were Joe like Chappelle Show. This so perennial, do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. Yeah. I just had to let you know. Give me that work and I can sell it. I put it on the line like I ain't selfish, nah. The story flip if I let you tell it. Put my heart and soul in so you feel it.
Running free. It's the coach. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, Devontae Freeman. Fresh off 100 yards a week ago, as it'll be the Atlanta Falcons taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. Standing by to call the action here on Brandon Gaudin and Charles
What's up,
Davis.
Big White?
Few better places in the country weather-wise this time of year than this one right here.
I told you I was going to be back.
And beautiful Raymond James Stadium. With the echoes of cannon blast still ringing in our ears from the north end zone. The Bucs were introduced a moment ago, and they are all set as their guys will do battle with Matt Ryan and the Atlanta Falcons. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside
today was me and yesterday was me and my wife's anniversary, bro.
So they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are.
Oh, it's okay, man. Thanks for the like, bro.
That wave of emotion to a
you too, bro. Thank you for stopping through.
For the visiting Falcons, they come in at 15-0, one win short of a perfect regular season.
And it's something we've only seen a couple of times. Miami in 1972, New England in 2007. We know they're not going to mail it in. They're going to go for it.
Yeah, me and my wife was married. So they'll make it a year.
Here we go. The final week of the NFL season. Week 17 is underway. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Buccaneers heading out. It's the fifth-year man, Jameis Winston, in charge. Big key for Jameis this year, just finding a way to avoid those turnovers. They've been his undoing during his tenure in Tampa. It's no secret. 14 interceptions again last year, plus 7 fumbles in just 9 games played.
Oh, that's what's up, man. That's what's up.
Jameis now on first down. And his first pass here is going to fall incomplete. And we get a glance now at the Buccaneer offense.
Mike Evans is exactly what you're looking for in a receiver in today's NFL. Big, quick, can flat-out run, but makes great adjustments when the ball is in the air. Ranked number 3 last year in receiving yards, 1,000 yards receiving every year he's been in the league.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now Winston, nowhere to escape.
Oh, you're welcome, man. Anytime.
Devondre Campbell.
Anytime, man. You're welcome.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on.
It'll be 19 years for them.
Winston, he'll find Miller. That's complete. And he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the first. It'll be a pickup of 14, but they're still a little bit short as it brings up 4th.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate.
I mean, true, but you know what I'm saying? Y'all made that decision, man. Just because y'all married outside y'all race, it shouldn't matter.
Very good starting field position for the Falcons offense as they come up 1st and 10.
You ain't doing it. You ain't doing it for them. You doing it for y'all. You know what I'm saying? If they don't like it, you know what they can do. Oh well.
And he's got his star receiver. It's Jones.
I'm Irish and Jews. My wife is Jamaican and Dominican.
Julio Jones.
Ain't no wrong with that.
53 yards.
Ain't no wrong with that.
As his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter.
Ain't no wrong with that.
An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist bump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
He said he's Irish and Scottish. My wife is Jamaican and Dominican.
Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away.
He said because
they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. Partner, just looking at some of the struggles they've had this season, the playoffs are not in their future. As they start to peer toward the offseason, what moves might they make?
I think the running back position, and I know we talk all the time about the NFL being a passing league, but the teams that run the ball effectively, they're the ones that go deep into the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl. They have to upgrade here. And you and I both know in recent years in the draft, people have shied away from taking a runner early. But there's that special one there. I say they go get him.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. From the gun, Winston. And Winston lost the football. And the Falcons say they have it. They do.
Well, partner, they went empty set there. No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect him.
No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball.
A carry for Devontae Freeman, who missed most of last season. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. A 13-yard touchdown run. And the Falcons push further out in front.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strike ability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
Koo able to connect on the extra point, and it's now 14-0. A nice tidy little drive there, getting the ball in excellent field position, and only one play to score it. Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. With the Bucs offense making their way back out on the field, let's take a look at the playoff picture, Charles, coming into the weekend in the NFC. And it's all come down to this, hasn't it? Final week of the regular season. As this year's playoffs play out anything like the regular season has gone, could be in for a wild and fun month of January.
And we can break the rules because we can look ahead. All right, there's not a coach out there that's ever said to their team, all right, let's look three weeks down the road. It's always right here, right now. Forget that. Think about what the playoffs are going to look like. The teams that we see that are already in, the teams that are trying to get in, we could have some great matchups.
And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24. The starters defensively now for the Falcons. They were very good in the win last week against Jacksonville.
One thing you always look for when you're evaluating a defense, how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get? How about last week's game? The number was 6. Phenomenal performance.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
A terrific return there. 27 yards all told. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone. And incomplete. He dropped it in the end zone.
I know you thought saying touchdown there, didn't you, partner? That looked like a sure 6 points, but the contact jarred it free.
Got his hands on it, could not hold on through the end of the play. Airing it out, looking for Ridley. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. From midfield now, here's Ryan. He wants it all for the end zone. And he's got his star receiver. It's Jones for the Falcon touchdown. Matt Ryan, his 2nd touchdown pass of this opening quarter. And the Falcons push further out in front. Extra point by Koo, up and good. And it's now 21-0. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And the end result, an Atlanta touchdown.
Baby, when I tell you everything, giving you curve, hip, and the dips, baby, it's going down. The number's called is 91226.
Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So out come the Bucs now. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
What's going on, y'all? Y'all fall through.
Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Winston, a handoff. This is Jones. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. On 3rd down, Winston. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. This will be fielded at the 17.
Caught him at the last minute.
40 yards. And the Falcons are set up well to begin their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already. Meanwhile, down in Dallas, an update from there. And the Redskins there out to an early lead. Dwayne Haskins, an early touchdown pass in that one. He's got the 1st down here inside the 30. Devontae Freeman, they're not going to get him. Touchdown, Falcons. Devontae Freeman with his 2nd touchdown of this opening quarter. And the Falcons push further out in front. Now, 1st quarter, and this lead is already getting into dangerous territory. They better be careful on the other sideline.
Yeah, it feels a little bit more like a basketball game where one team is pressing and that team can't get the ball over half court. I mean, it's stealing it and scoring it, layups, the whole deal. That's what it feels like right now. They are all over them.
Koo able to connect on the extra point, and the route is on here in this 1st half. Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Buccaneers offensive unit back out on the field. Typically down in the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
Looking to throw on second down. Winston. And his throw is going to be incomplete. He's looking for Chris Godwin that time. And it's third down.
Let's face it, you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Tack McKinley, what a season he continues to have. His 15th sack of the campaign.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. Here's Bradley Pinion now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. That's pulled in at the 32.
Again.
There he goes left side. And the Atlanta Falcons are in for the touchdown.
Well, it certainly feels like that kind of game, doesn't it? No matter what they do, it's going to work. That might be the absolute crusher right there. A punt return for a touchdown.
Feels like there's been a lot of crushers in this game. This lead just gets bigger. Now the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. We are in for a good one as we're through one on EA Sports. Here's Bosher to kick it away.
What's up, Vince?
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep him warm.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game, and now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Jameis to throw it. And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught.
They got to find a way to bring
those 2 elements together so they can make some progress in this one. But that's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. This is taken at the 15. So dangerous with a football in his hands. Call that a return of 38. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. This is Freeman on 1st and 10. 20. And he is into the
Freeman
end zone
gone.
for a Falcon touchdown. Devontae Freeman on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. This is becoming quite the half he's had here.
Remember in our pregame meetings, they talked about wanting to run the football and staying with it? Well, when you're scoring this many touchdowns, there's no reason to go away from it, is there? They are off to a fantastic start. They hope it continues.
3-0 ready for it. Extra point by Koo, up and good. And a route is on here in this first half. I'm not sure if they drew that play up to score, but it scored indeed. 1 play on the ground and into the end zone for 6. Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And this offense trotting back onto the field. Let's turn our attention here to Ronald Jones. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far.
Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball a little bit, maybe featuring other people touching it for a while, and then you get a chance to come back to it when things have changed a little bit. They have to make an adjustment.
Still time for him here as we sit in the second quarter. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now. Winston needing a big play after the sack as he leads the Bucs up on 3rd and long. Draw play, Winston to Jones. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 14-yard line. A rough go there on 3rd down, a loss of 4.
Well, to me, that's taking a big gamble defensively because now the lineman, you see, that's normally something you see down near the goal line. Because now, if they decide to go play action, something should be open there, and I think open big.
So maybe that's something that gets filed away for later.
I think without a doubt, you write it down, and if you see that look at a later date, go ahead and take your shot.
And take it right on the 30. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Matt Ryan and the Falcon offense set to get going again. He's been in a pretty good group. They actually have more yards on the ground than through the air, but both have been good, pretty balanced.
And have we ever met a coach when we've talked to him before a game that hasn't mentioned wanting to be balanced?
This is caught inside the 15. A big play there, Ryan to Jones. 51 yards. And that catch, he just hit number 800 in his NFL career.
And just think, that puts you in top 35 range all time in the NFL in terms of number of catches. One significant guy in...
And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Devontae Freeman on his way to a historic performance. 4 first-half touchdowns as his guys continue to pour it on. And that rushing touchdown is 4th, puts him just 1 shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it, but he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
Koo able to connect on the extra point, and a route is on here in this first half. Well, it wasn't a one-play drive, but I think they'll take it. The scoring summary, 2 plays and into the end zone. Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Mike Evans and the rest of the offensive unit heading back out there now. Hasn't had his best day to this point here in the second quarter, and they're losing. You got to think, though, that also means that maybe the defense doing a good job on it. There's two sides to that coin.
I would agree, so you have to give them credit, but that means you've got to find a way to beat that defense and make sure one of your top playmakers touches the football and has an impact on the game. Change formations, change where he lines up, put him in motion. Anything possible to shake him free.
Maybe that greater impact comes here on this drive. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Here's Winston. He sets up the screen to Jones. 4 yards the pickup, first down. It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, you're adjusting from series to series, and they need a big adjustment here to try to put some points on the board.
We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll send you cross-state to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have all the stats and all the scores from games going on during another busy Sunday in the National Football League. And he'll go out of bounds, it appears, right at the 45.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
Here's Bradley Pinion now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. Oh, he'll field it in the end zone. And he's loose again. The 20. Touchdown, Falcons. That is something you almost never see. A punt return better than 100 yards from one end zone to the other, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
Well, if you're into cheesy movies, you would title this one "I Have to Remember," wouldn't you? His 2nd return touchdown of the game.
What if I'm not into cheesy movies?
Well, go ahead and get into it, man, because I just did it, and you're going to green light that one. How about those returns? Maybe they ought to think about not kicking him.
Yeah, they might want to go away from him in the future. Extra point by Koo, up and good. And a rout is on here in this first half. It's no secret. That's why they have him return punts. He has the capability to take them back, and he did so there. So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And we shift to spotlighting Mike Evans. A chance maybe here for them to get him more involved. They're down here on the scoreboard, and he's been very quiet.
And the silence has been deafening for his team. They don't need that at all. They need fireworks. They need explosive plays. They need him touching the football in any way possible. Maybe go to some jet sweeps. Anything to get him going.
There's something to get him the ball. We'll see if they can do it. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
It's been my observation. There's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to go off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter. A lot of time to change things. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. To throw, Winston. He's got Evans. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Jameis now just 7 of 16 passing thus far, but he's got a 1st and 10. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Mike Evans, the one he was looking for. But it'll be 2nd down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Jameis again. And Winston lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down. Here's Bradley Pinion now. He's been terrific so far. Now this is fielded in the end zone. So we've come upon halftime here in weeks. All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. This is fielded a couple yards deep. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And there he goes again. Touchdown, Falcons. He goes 102 yards from one end zone to the other as his guys continue to pour it on.
And talk about taking words and bringing them to life. At halftime, I will guarantee you in their locker room, they talked about pressing the kicking game because you can get an advantage if you do it right, and they just did.
Koo able to connect on the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. So he takes it from 2 yards deep all the way down the field into the other end zone. Add it all up, a 102-yard return on the kickoff. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. 13 games going on here in this final Sunday of 2019, the final Sunday of the regular season. 3 more games still to come following us. Raiders, Broncos, Cards, Rams, and Niners, Seahawks. And then we'll know the 12 teams who will continue on into the playoffs starting next Saturday here on EA Sports. The second half starts with a carry by Jones. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
Yes, indeed. That play there, that reminds me of some of the guys that I played with to have that suddenness, able to get into the backfield almost about the time the ball snapped and make the play. How about that tackle for a loss?
Yeah, absolutely. He did a lot of that last week when he was named the NFC Defensive Player of the Week. One of the guys on the team would say, hey, yeah, we called him the disruptor, and that's carrying forward again.
Makes sense, doesn't it?
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. Another drive comes and goes, still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
Taken in at the 22. Well, that looked for a second like he might take it all the way, but as it stands, it's still a massive return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10.
59, ready, 525, 54. They're not ready for this, man. They ready to go.
They'll run on 1st down. Freeman. And he'll get about 5 here as he'll take this down inside the 20-yard line.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Freeman a first down and more. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Scampering home from 19 yards out as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
Partner, this running back's having a heck of a day on the ground. He just keeps punching it in and rushing for touchdown after touchdown.
Point after here coming up. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them. In plus territory, excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt. Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. The intended target was Chris Godwin, and now it's third down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Here's Winston. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down.
I love the intelligence the defense just showed there. Read their keys, saw the screen developing, ran to it, and smothered it. What a 3rd down stop by them.
Oh, I nearly broke that one. As it stands, though, a heck of a 36-yard run back. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. On 1st and 10, it's Ryan. He'll let this go for the end zone. And he's got his star receiver. It's Jones for the Falcon touchdown. Julio Jones, 49 yards, as his guys continue to pour it on. Extra point by Koo, up and good. And the lead will swell by 1 more. And we can break that scoring drive down pretty easily. 1 play, long touchdown pass into the end zone. Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Winston looking middle. It's incomplete. He was trying to find O.J. Howard, but it's going to be 2nd down. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
A 2nd down throw for Winston. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. Good coverage that time by the linebacker, Deion Jones. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Throwing, Winston. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. This is taken at about the 14. He had his sights on the end zone, no doubt, but is brought down after a huge return there. And out will come the offense as they take over.
Check. Ready. 280. Check. 45 to Mike. Check.
On first down, Ryan. He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone. And that will be taken in by Ridley for a Falcon touchdown. Calvin Ridley, his 26th touchdown, drawing even with Marshall Faulk for the 4th most in a single season, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. And they use that height on the outside to get the score.
We've seen the evolution of the wide receivers. They've gotten taller and taller, but they've retained their quickness and their speed. It's a lethal combination.
Always good to have wide receivers with height. Koo able to connect on the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. And they're able to get the connection on the long touchdown pass, and that's one of the easiest drive summaries you'll ever see. One play, touchdown. Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Buccaneer offense set to take over again. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off. They'll try and get the running game going with Jones. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one, and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Two times. Everyone got 4 down.
They'll go again to Jones. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
He's second in the NFL in interceptions, and you understand why. He plays a game of great intelligence, understands positioning, and has a great ability to break on the football when it's in the air.
So fun to watch his closing speed, and another example of it on that play. The punt team on now as Pinion sends this one away. They'll look to set up his blockers. "35 yards on the return." Picked up some good blocks as well.
Ready, 25. Check. Watch 54.
On first down, it's Freeman. And some room to work. Past the 20. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Devontae Freeman. 48 yards as his guys continue to pour it on. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Extra point by Koo, up and good. And the lead will swell by 1 more. Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And the Buccaneers getting ready to go as they take the field. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Winston now. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
The frustration is definitely setting in because they've thrown it to him over and over, unable to come up with a catch thus far.
I think he knew he would have his challenges against his secondary. I don't think he saw a goose egg at this point in the game. And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. Here's Bradley Pinion now as he's on to punt for Tampa Bay. This is brought in at the 21. He won't go down. And he's loose again. And he will score. Touchdown, Falcons. What a run. 79 yards on the punt return as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
All right, count him along with me. That's his 3rd return for a touchdown in this game. Why is the ball being kicked to him? That would be my question.
I was just going to ask you the same question because we see 2 occasionally. I mean, very rare. 3, unbelievable. So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a first down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see. Up front, the struggles continue for this offense among the line. What can they do? Change the play calling? What?
I think part of that, yes, changing some of the play calls, some screens, some draws, some misdirection. You want to run any type of a play that will influence these guys to continue to get upfield and find a way to use that against them and slip things in behind them. So some quick passes could work as well.
Now this will probably be the last play of the quarter. Now a draw play. This is Jones. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Here's Bradley Pinion now as he's on to punt for Tampa Bay. This is fielded at the 27. Oh, he sheds himself free. And there he goes again. And he will score. Touchdown, Falcons. He returns that punt 73 yards as his guys continue to pour it on. So another score there, and often you talk about the three phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a fourth phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. Koo able to connect on the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. Winston and the Bucs take over now, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete. It was Desmond Trufant right there, step for step in coverage. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now Winston throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of...
And Winston lost the football, and the Falcons grab it. And this is going to be brought back. It's a scoop and score for the Falcon TD. They give some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for them.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice. You're such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, do I ever?
No going for two. They'll kick the point after. Now, this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way, the fumble return for a touchdown. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And now back out comes the offense. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
That's it, baby.
This defense tightening up a bit. That last catch just 1 yard, making it 3rd and 9. Working out of the gun, Winston. He completes this into the hands of Miller. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. He'll return it from the 6. So possession goes over here on the punt. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions. Because the game, certainly not.
And this is caught. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Matt Ryan now with 5 touchdown passes on the afternoon as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. We've seen these two, Matt Ryan and Julio Jones, connect quite a few times over the years. It never gets old.
It never gets old. Well, maybe for the defense it does, but not for us who are watching it. And Julio, every time he steps on the field, you can just about mark him down for 100 yards. That's about his career average per game. But think about this. Getting in the end zone has always been a struggle for him. He gets the big yardage, but he doesn't get the touchdowns. Not this time. No matter how many people were kicked in coverage, he found a way to beat it.
Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now the Buccaneer offense gets set to take over. And 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. A little soul-searching now?
I would say so, and they need to help out their defense a little bit. They've had to be on the field a lot more than normal, put them in some tough spots. But what's the old adage? When you get another chance, it gives you a better chance to do it right.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw is Winston. And he finds Howard complete. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11. The last completion actually lost a yard, so now they'll need to convert on 3rd down. Winston. And this is going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Touchdown, Falcons.
When you've got a guy that fast back there to receive punts, that's a nightmare for the guy game planning, the special teams coach, but it's also a nightmare for the punter. Sometimes they get so nervous that they mishit the ball and kick it right to him.
Extra point by Koo, up and good. And the lead will swell by 1 more. So his big play capability in full display there as he's able to return that punt for a touchdown. So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now the Buccaneers offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Well, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
The touch and time are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
On 2nd down, Winston again. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Solid coverage on the play by Devondre Campbell. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. From the shotgun, it's Winston. And that is incomplete. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Falcons are set up well to begin their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already. Throwing now, Ryan on 1st down. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. To throw again. Ryan looking in zone for Jones. And he's got his star receiver. It's Jones for the Falcon touchdown. Julio Jones, 43 yards as his guys continue to pour it on. And, my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off right before the game's over. We know this thing's done.
Extra point attempt here still to come. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Here's Winston. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
Well, struggles continue. Open targets, and he keeps missing them, pressing way too much. He may have a big arm, but until he learns how to harness it and have some touch, he's going to continue to struggle.
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on 3rd. I don't know. He had to be pretty quick with his fingers to start and stop after the ball hit the ground. I'm giving him some credit.
Well, I'm thinking about the mental focus,
Yeah.
The mental focus.
Yeah, that's true.
Got to stay with it.
That's true. This will be fielded at the 17. A great return there, bobbing and weaving his way for 31 yards.
Ready, Blue
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015...
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. JPP cruising in for the sack that time. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest ones, maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete. He was looking for Julio Jones, his Pro Bowl receiver. Third down here. From the gun on third down, Ryan. He's going to rifle one deep left. This is caught inside the 15. And he gets this down deep into Tampa Bay territory. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. They've got it 1st and goal in a game that appears to have already been decided. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
Ready, 25. Watch the pass.
They'll run here with Freeman. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Koo able to connect on the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. Just a 4-play drive that time, and it ends in a touchdown run from Devontae Freeman. Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest,
don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
To throw again on second down. Winston. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on third down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. It's been that kind of a day so far throwing the football. It just seems like nothing going right offensively.
Yeah, it's a catch that should have been made, pure and simple. And look, everything else that goes into running a good pass route, throw it all out if you don't catch the ball.
Been that kind of game throwing the football so far. Nothing going right offensively. They're on to the 4th quarter now, by the way, at Bank of America Stadium in Carolina. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. Drew Brees, a single touchdown pass to this point in that one.
Single receiver. Hey, you're on an island over there.
Oh, look at this. Ryan's going to throw it. Airing it out, looking for Ridley. And this is caught inside the 5. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Calvin Ridley with touchdown number 27. That ties Priest Holmes for the 3rd most in a single year, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Extra point by Koo, up and good. And the lead will swell by 1 more. And we can break that scoring drive down pretty easily. One play, long touchdown pass into the end zone. Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So out come the Bucs now. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it, because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now, and if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one.
Right here, right here.
On 1st and 10, Winston. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them, because just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
To throw on 2nd and 10, Winston. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. From the gun, Winston. And he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first, but at least it's 4th down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that that fell harmlessly to the ground. Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. This is taken at the 23. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. Airing it out, looking for Ridley. This is caught inside the 15. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
There's no doubt in my mind.
And do you hear that? Do you hear the...
It's not scales, right?
No.
I don't hear scales. Do I actually hear a tune being warbled?
I think the fat lady's humming.
Yeah, she's doing more than humming. She's belting it out right now.
Going. She's full bore.
Yeah, this thing is flat out finished.
Extra point forthcoming. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. And they're able to get the connection on the long touchdown pass. And that's one of the easiest drive summaries you'll ever see. One play, touchdown. Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now the Buccaneers offensive unit back out on the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
It's a party now.
To throw, Winston. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Here's Bradley Pinion now as he's on to punt for Tampa Bay. Taking it about the 16. And shedding the tackle, and now some room. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. A lot of times they want this guy just to try to flip field position. He flipped it all the way into the end zone.
Yeah, the rule of thumb is, can you pick up 10 yards? That's getting a first down. Instead, he takes it all the way and provides a big spark for his team.
Extra point attempt to come here. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Well, we know he has home run hitting ability in the punt return department, and he showcases it there all the way back for 6. So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Here we go.
And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Here's Winston. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Tack McKinley in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 now on the season.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out of it.
In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. So time runs out. It's a victory for the Atlanta Falcons. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Form the defense through the shutout, Adam. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one, and that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, up a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory.